The sack wasn't supposed to be moving. Hank Rusty Callahan had seen plenty of trash dumped in Willow Creek over his 52 years. Old tires, rusted fence wire, even a washing machine once. But this burlap sack, tied with baling twine and bobbing in the shallows near the Cottonwood Bend, was different. It moved from the inside. Rusty pulled his mare, Dusty, to a halt and squinted through the early morning haze. The Texas sun was just breaking over the ridge, turning the water to liquid gold. He'd been riding since before dawn, checking the northern fence line of his ranch. The broken spur, same as he did every Tuesday. Routine kept a man sane. Routine kept the memories quiet. The sack lurched. Then a sound cut to the chirping crickets and rustling grass, a sound that didn't belong to nature. A tiny, desperate cry. Not an animal. Human. A baby. Welcome to Mr. Bryan's Tale, where every story takes you on an unforgettable journey. Whether it's thrilling adventures, heartwarming moments, or tales that'll keep you on the edge of your seat, this is your destination for captivating storytelling. If you love getting lost in exciting narratives and discovering new worlds with every video, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss out on the next amazing tale. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Rusty Callahan discovers the moving burlap sack in Willow Creek during his dawn fence check. He wades into the icy water, cuts the twine with his knife, and finds baby Lila Mae, blue-lipped hypothermic, barely breathing. When she whispers mama, and her tiny fingers curl around his calloused thumb, something inside him breaks open. He wraps her in his denim jacket, mounts Dusty with the dying baby pressed to his chest, and rides Helfer Leather toward town, whispering, "Stay with me, little one. Just stay with me." Rusty crashes through Doc Pritchard's door with Lila Mae dying in his arms. The old doctor works frantically to warm her and stabilize her breathing, while Rusty stands helpless, hands shaking. Sheriff Maeve Donnelly arrives, drawn by the commotion. She's a sharp-eyed woman in her 40s who's seen too much corruption to trust easy answers. When Doc says Lila Mae will live but needs constant care, and no one's come looking for a missing baby, Maeve's instincts scream foul play. Rusty surprises everyone, including himself, when he says, "I'll take her." Maeve studies his weather-beaten face and nods slowly. "Then you and I need to find out who did this." Rusty brings Lila Mae home to his isolated ranch, a place that hasn't seen a woman's touch or a child's laughter in 7 years. His hands, built for branding cattle and mending fences, fumble with bottles and diapers. He talks to her in his gravelly voice about the horses, the stars, his late wife Emma, and his daughter Carly, who'd be 24 now if she'd lived. Lila Mae watches him with dark, knowing eyes. When she cries in the night, Rusty walks the creaking floorboards, humming half-forgotten lullabies. By dawn, something has shifted. This hard, lonely man is already in love with the child he saved. Sheriff Maeve traces the burlap sack to a feed store. The distinctive twine matches supplies sold to the Tucker Ranch. She digs deeper. 2 weeks ago, Darlene and Jeb Tucker filed paperwork claiming their baby was stillborn, along with an insurance claim for $50,000. But hospital records show Darlene gave birth to a healthy girl, then signed discharge papers and disappeared. Maeve visits the Tucker property with questions. Darlene, a brittle woman with cold eyes, claims it's a tragic misunderstanding. Jeb, a bull-necked man with a preacher's smile and a bully's fist, warns Maeve to stop stirring up painful memories. Maeve leaves with her hand on her gun and certainty in her gut. These people are dangerous. The Tuckers go public with a tearful story. Their precious baby daughter was swept away during a creek baptism accident, and a disturbed rancher found her and refuses to return her. The church community rallies around them. Suddenly, Rusty is a villain, the crazy hermit who stole a grieving couple's child. Social services gets involved. A family court judge orders Rusty to surrender Lila Mae pending investigation. When Rusty refuses, the judge threatens contempt charges. Maeve warns him. They're playing this smart. They've got the town fooled. Rusty's voice is steel. "I don't care if I go to jail. That baby's not going back to the people who tried to drown her." Chapter 5. The Witness. Late one night, a frightened teenage boy appears at Maeve's office. He's Cole Tucker. Jeb's 17-year-old son from his first marriage, a kid with haunted eyes and a split lip from his father's fists. Cole confesses everything. Lila Mae isn't Jeb's child. Darlene had an affair. When Jeb found out, he beat Darlene and swore the bastard baby would never shame their family. Cole watched his father tie Lila Mae in the sack and throw her in the creek. He was too scared to stop him. Now, seeing his father playing the victim on TV, Cole can't stay silent anymore. Maeve records his testimony, knowing it's the evidence they need, and that Cole just signed his own death warrant if Jeb finds out. Maeve hides Cole in protective custody while building her case. Medical examiner confirms Lila may show signs of near drowning and hypothermia consistent with deliberate abandonment, not an accident. Bank records show the Tuckers are drowning in debt. The insurance payout was their motive, but the Tuckers have expensive lawyers and community sympathy. The DA hesitates to file charges without ironclad proof. Meanwhile, at the Broken Spur, Rusty teaches Lila Mae to laugh, plays peekaboo with his worn Stetson, and discovers Joy he thought had died with his daughter. He also buys a shotgun and doesn't sleep, knowing the Tuckers won't let this go. Jeb Tucker and his two brothers, hard men who spent time in prison, come for Lila Mae in the dead of night. They cut Rusty's fence, disable his truck, and storm the ranch house with crowbars and knives. Rusty fights like a man possessed, using his rifle but his fists, and every brutal trick learned from 52 years of hard living. He takes a knife wound to the ribs and a crowbar to the shoulder, but refuses to go down. Lila Mae screams from her crib as the battle rages. Just when Jeb has Rusty pinned and is choking the life out of him, Maeve crashes through the door with her deputies, guns drawn. The Tuckers are arrested. Rusty, bleeding and barely conscious, crawls to Lila Mae's crib and holds her, whispering, "You're safe. I've got you." 3 days later, Rusty sits in court with stitches, bruises, and fire in his eyes. The emergency custody hearing is packed. The Tuckers' lawyer argues they're victims of violent criminal Rusty, who attacked their innocent clients. Then the prosecution brings out Cole Tucker. The boy's testimony is devastating. He describes in chilling detail how his father tied the sack, how Darlene watched without emotion, how Jeb said, "Creek will take care of our problem." Medical evidence confirms the story. Finally, Rusty takes a stand. His voice breaks as he describes pulling Lila Mae from the water, hearing her whisper mama like a prayer. "I lost my family once," he says. "I walked around dead for 7 years. Then this little girl gave me a reason to live. I'll fight for her till my last breath." The courtroom is silent, except for Lila Mae cooing in Maeve's arms. Judge Harriet Stone delivers her ruling. The Tuckers are remanded for trial on attempted murder and fraud charges. Full custody of Lila Mae is granted to Hank Rusty Callahan, with Sheriff Maeve Donnelly appointed as legal guardian and oversight. Darlene breaks down, not from losing her daughter, but from her ruined reputation. Jeb glares at Rusty with pure hate as he's led away in chains. Outside the courthouse, Rusty holds Lila Mae up to see the Texas sky. She reaches for his face and babbles, "Dada," clear as day. Rusty's eyes flood with tears he doesn't bother hiding. Maeve claps him on the shoulder. "You did good, Rusty." Back at the Broken Spur Ranch, Rusty sits on the porch at sunset with Lila Mae in his lap. He tells her about her big sister Carly, about Emma, about how family isn't always the people you're born to. Sometimes it's the people who show up when you whisper for help. And for the first time since the fire took everything, Hank Rusty Callahan believes in tomorrow. 6 months later, Mason stood in the doorway of what used to be his empty cabin and watched Claire teach Sonny how to clap her hands. The little girl's laughter filled spaces that had been silent for a decade. Sonny had just taken her first wobbly steps the week before, stumbling from Claire's arms straight into Mason's calloused hands like she'd always known he'd catch her. Hannah Crow visited once a month, never as a mother reclaiming rights, but as a grateful young woman witnessing the miracle she'd been told was impossible. She left her father's house for good, started working at the general store, and was building a life on her own terms. Mayor Harlan Crow had resigned in disgrace, his empire of secrets crumbling the moment truth found its voice. Mason pulled Claire close as Sonny babbled between them, her tiny hands grabbing both their fingers. You think she'll remember any of this? Claire whispered. No, Mason said, kissing Sonny's forehead. But we will. And one day, we'll tell her she was loved enough to be fought for. The three of them stood together as a Texas sunset painted the world gold, a family born not from blood or law, but from the simple choice to show up when someone whispered for help. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe to Mr. Bryan's Tale for more powerful stories of redemption and second chances. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever been given a second chance when you thought all hope was lost? Or do you believe broken people make the best healers? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.